I wasn't
Okay.
loud. Can you read clap? Yeah, a little bit better. Come on. You can clap better than that. Come on, Florida. Clap it up.
Welcome to 86 Reason, a show about the crazy people that drive this insane restaurant industry that we love so much. And I'm here with one of the most interesting characters, in my opinion, in the whole industry, Shawn Walchef. It is an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Dude, I'm so happy that you started a podcast. What number guest am I?
I want to say number one in my heart.
See?
Let's just
See what's
start
going on here?
there. But I think you're the sixth guest, and I don't want to say...
Guest. I haven't made top 5. So my job on this episode is to prove to you that for your next show, I've got to be within the top 5 guests. But I'm cool with being number 6. 6 is cool with me. Let's go.
Listen, Shawn, I have a feeling I'm going to have definitely some repeat guests. So I just want to make sure you know you're good. You're locked in.
That's cool. Yeah, that works for me. I will be a repeat guest for sure.
All
That's
right.
my goal.
So, Shawn, to start, would you consider yourself a restaurant person?
100%. Through and through. Crazy, insane entrepreneur with a belief that somehow I could make money and a career and provide for my family selling barbecue in Southern California. And yet here I am. Actually, I have for those of you that are watching on video, I highly suggest you subscribe to X's YouTube page. But this is a picture of me at the age of 13 washing dishes at the restaurant that I now own. So somehow, some way, I still have that dishwasher. It's not the same dish layout, but the dish pit is in the same location of the restaurant that I now own.
How much did you spend on the changing of the dish pit? Too much
Not
money?
much.
Okay.
Definitely not much.
Not much. I didn't pay a guy. So
That was one of the wiser decisions we made was don't invest. Let Ecolab put their machine in there and we'll pay them some lease. And God knows, yeah, we've made all the mistakes. We've been in business for 18 years. We have 3 locations in San Diego. Stadium location, which is awesome because they run it. It's a licensing deal. We just slow smoke barbecue, send it to the stadium. And then we have a QSR location on the San Diego Navy Exchange. So we serve the men and women that serve our country in the United States. And we have our main master smokehouse. And yes, we've been doing it for 18 years. And
dude,
it's crazy.
Dude, so you went from, and we're going to get into this, but you have 3 stores now?
3 locations. I don't know if they're stores, so to say, but we have 3 distribution locations. Our master smokehouse, which is the main full service, 5,700 square feet. We seat 250. If you're the fire department, if you're hosting a wedding, we seat 350.
If it's a wedding, why is it more for a wedding? I just want to know. There's more frill. There's more happening.
Well, yeah, the question to any restaurant owner is how much space do you have?
Oh, wait, hold on. So
it's who's asking the question is the most important. Is the fire marshal asking me how many seats do we have? Or is DirecTV asking me how many seats I have? Or would you like to have a party? Because if you like to have a stadium late night party, we can fit a lot more people in this place. That's what fire does.
You're insane. You're a restaurant person because you're already giving up all the secrets, bro.
That is the secrets.
Okay, I know. I mean, we haven't even started. You're giving.
We're in the restaurant business. We're in the furniture moving business. All we do is move tables. How many
Dude,
do you got at the party?
That is
I'll move table for you.
That is such a front of the house thing, dude. I hate moving tables. And then you listen.
All we do is move tables and chairs.
You know you're the owner when it very gingerly gets placed in the right spot of the dining room without scuffs or, any of like the dragging. And you've never owned a restaurant when the first thing you do is start stacking chairs and throwing them and stuff. And you're like, this motherfucker's about to break. Anyway. All right. Yeah. So, dude, 13 years old, you got your first restaurant job?
First restaurant job, yeah. I was my grandfather, my Bulgarian grandfather, he raised me, my Japanese grandmother, and we don't play. On the weekends, I was busting tables and washing dishes. Get your ass to work.
Whoa.
I know.
Who had,
And
all right.
the craziest part is that I actually came back to the business. Like, you would have thought I would have gotten drilled out of my head when I was 13 years old. Like, don't do
Oh
this.
my God. And this is, okay. So
Blood is punishment.
considering all this, so you get into this. How did this all, so you got into restaurants. I'm sure that was like leading into high school.
Yep.
How long did you last as a dishwasher, and were you a good dishwasher?
It was a shitty dishwasher. Ask my wife today. I'm literally the worst dishwasher in the house. I think my 6-year-old girl can wash dishes better than dad. I employ dishwashers, and somehow, as a husband, I have failed miserably. I don't know how to use our dish machine. I don't know how to pre-rinse. I can't do any of it. It's madness.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
But guess who's going to get a GE sponsorship for that dishwasher? I mean, you might not know how to work it.
I will 100% get a Whirlpool sponsorship. I will get us free dishwashers for life, and I'll get them to sponsor our shows. But I do not know how to wash a dish. No.
Everybody contributes. So what was the next step?
Play our part. We all play our part.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I went from dishwasher to busser to server, and then eventually, once I was in high school, I think senior year, I started doing assistant manager duties, closing the cash register, doing all the fun stuff, and then during college, I would come back and help with the business. But essentially, we got to the point where when I was in college, we sold the property and we sold the business. So I thought I dodged the restaurant bullet.
And what did you get into? Did you like just surf?
I thought I was going to be in sports entertainment law. I thought I was going to go to law school.
Jerry Maguire, is that what did it?
Yeah, exactly. You know it. Yeah, representing athletes.
Do you have a favorite team, by the way?
Chargers.
I love it. All right.
San Diego Los Angeles Superchargers.
They'll always be the San Diego Chargers in my heart.
For sure.
You're like, for sure, as you like, a small part of you dies. And
I'm a season ticket holder. It's fine. There's only 32 NFL teams. I get it.
Hold on a second. You're a season ticket holder for the San Diego,
the
Chargers?
Los Angeles. Yes. 100%.
Now, did your commute change for that?
Yeah. I used to drive 15 minutes to tailgate 4 hours before kickoff when the gates opened. Now I've got to drive 2 hours up to SoFi, but my son comes, my daughter, my wife. We love it. We love going to the games.
Oh my God. Well, I
See,
feel
like, do you know my sports team has never won a Super Bowl? We've only made it to a Super Bowl and gotten smoked. So restaurant business, Chargers, it all fits. Padres, we've never won anything.
Tony Gwynn, though. And
I love misery. I'm low and slow misery. It's fine.
Speaking of misery, all right. So you thought you were going to be a lawyer, which I feel like its own type of misery. And then
correct.
And then, but how did this U-turn happen where you're like, I'm going to get a nice white collar executive job. And then you're like, nah, I want to wash dishes again. When did this happen?
Well, the legal profession made it easy for me because they rejected me from all 3 law schools in San Diego. So I have 2 of the 3 rejection letters right here in my office that I keep framed because after them, because they can fuck off. Like, I'm not good enough for your law school. Fine, no problem. I'll end up building a law school one day to talk about restaurant law school, media law school.
Oh man, that'll be a busy place.
It will be. Yeah, it's their law school,
dude. Okay, so you get rejected, which is probably an ego hit, and
it was more devastating for my grandfather, who was a medical doctor and an immigrant, and he really wanted me to, pursue first a career in medicine. I told him I'm terrible at science. It's not my thing. I'm pretty sure I can, bullshit my way through law school or an argument, and turns out I couldn't bullshit my way into law school. So, yeah, it was more devastating for him than it was for me, for sure.
Oh man! And then was it shortly thereafter that you're like, you know what?
Kind of. I mean, I started doing real estate. My grandfather has residential and commercial real estate here in San Diego. So he, ultimately after his medical profession, became a developer and built single family homes and different commercial properties. So one of the homes that he built was actually the restaurant. So he had a restaurant, and then he had an assisted care facility that he built behind the restaurant. And that's the property that in that photo, this photo, I grew up going to that property. And he didn't get into the restaurant business to make money, because obviously, funny joke, like getting into the restaurant business, no one gets into the restaurant business to become wealthy, but I mean, unless you're Panda Express. But besides that, he did it because he wanted family to work, and what better place to work than in a restaurant?
And was it his place? Was it his restaurant?
It was a breakfast spot. Yeah,
it was a breakfast spot.
American country breakfast spot. Yeah, chicken fried steak, biscuits, omelets, pancakes, waffles. Yeah,
dude. And so, did you work with other family members?
I did. I worked with my grandmother. My brothers didn't do well. I had 2 younger brothers, and they were slapdicks. Like, they didn't know what they were doing. So,
but that's the perfect place for a restaurant person.
It is. It's kind of where you should shine. But
yeah,
you kind of you got to show up to suck. And like, if you don't get that part first, you don't get that part right, then it's tough, right?
Well, at least you're consistent. But
very consistent.
So okay. So then, when did it click? Did you like have this moment? Because I feel like we're eternal optimists in some way. Restaurant people, like there's always the glass is full kind of perspective on life, and everyone's gonna want to eat my ribs. And when for you was the moment? Like, did you have a sign? Are you spiritual, or was it like was it just like all right, I got to do this? Like, how did it even come together?
So my grandfather had a liquor license that they didn't really use with this breakfast concept. So like, they would sell Bloody Marys, maybe a couple on Sunday, and maybe a bottle of beer, but like there was no alcohol going through that place. So the liquor license wasn't really activated, but the breakfast place was popular. Like they were doing significant amounts of covers. People were waiting on Saturdays and Sundays to get in. It was great breakfast. It was really good. And after we sold the business, a couple other people took over the breakfast place, and they just didn't do that well. So there was that liquor license that my grandfather still owned. It was a different owner that owned the property, but my grandfather said, want to use this liquor license. You can't do anything with we could have sold it, but it was more valuable. Like, hey,
with the land.
Yeah, let's take back over this breakfast business that already has 2 decades worth of customers coming in. And, if you do something with it, I had my best friend from college, Corey Robinson, he grew up in his family restaurants in Aspen, Colorado. So like he should have known. He got out later. He spent 4 years with me. Now he does real estate and he crushes it. But like, we should have both known how hard the business was. But we're like, let's just take this liquor license, sell alcohol, sell the best Bloody Mary, sell the best draft beer, put in a proper beer program, put in a sports bar. So, NFL Sunday on the West Coast, games kick off at 10 a.m. It's already busy. Well, what if we had every single room in this restaurant had a TV, we had direct TV, we had the right game on for the right fan. We had a booming breakfast business. And then we added lunch, and then we added dinner. Dinner was much harder than we thought, because we didn't have a concept until we went all in on barbecue. And once we went on all in on barbecue, things started to click, because like to do barbecue right, it's hard and it takes time. Like we made a lot of shitty barbecue in the beginning, and we had a mentor, Gene Goykache, he taught us the recipes, but like, it's one thing to have, a pit master. It's another thing to operationalize it. So all across, like he can't be there every day cooking the ribs and cooking the brisket. So we've got to train a pit master, and like they have to learn how to cut it, how to trim it, the right seasonings to use, the right temperatures, how to feel it. And, it was hard. It was hard as hell. The first 4 years of business, I thought, it was like on a week-to-week basis, are we going to go out of business? Like, are we going to have enough money to pay the bills? It was brutal.
Dude, I feel the struggle, because I've been there. I've been a restaurant owner. Like, did you have somebody you confided in? Like, was it you and Corey, like out back? It was you.
Yeah, I think, it's obviously we built a media company on top, and now all of the podcasts that I do, all the content we do on our Cali BBQ Media YouTube channel is to teach restaurant owners from people that are way more successful than I am, like just sharing the secrets. And I think one of the biggest lessons was like asking for help.
Yeah.
We're really shitty at asking for help. And that's I say that I just spoke yesterday or 2 days ago at US Foods, Food Fanatics, 5,000 restaurant people all in Las Vegas. I had hundreds of people in the room, and the talk was on asking for help. Like as restaurant owners, we're not vulnerable. We're the best people at compartmentalizing. Hey, X, how you doing? How's the restaurant? Sales are great. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, no, if you want to know, like, no, I like every day I look on my Toast Now app and I want to see what are the sales this yesterday compared to the week that was it up, was it down? And like, if we're all honest, we all know that like it's peaks and valleys. It's a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah.
Oh no, like, was it a good day? And then you see great sales and you're like, why, what was the outlier? And you go deeper into the analytics and it's like, shit, we did a catering. It's like, well, fuck, we need to do more caterings. Let's do more of that. Like,
Yeah.
why are we spending all our time? If we can do this, then like, let's repeat the process. But every single day, you're on this roller coaster of like, are the sales up? Are the sales down? And even if the sales are up, you have to control the costs. Otherwise, just like, I mean, that's why you built Over Easy Office is it has nothing to do with top line revenue.
Well, we hope for the top line, right? But it's in the details.
A lot of things.
Yeah, it's in the details.
You got leaks in the boat.
Yeah,
you're not going to stay in business,
dude. So I mean, I often forget what it's like to be a restaurant person because I've been out for about 10 years now, and I feel very much a restaurant person in, you know, especially in general pop. You know what I mean? Because even just walking through the supermarket, it's very easy to see who's worked in a restaurant.
Battle scars.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't go away. Those are scars.
Listen, man, just earlier today, an old lady was walking out of the hotel, and I did the foot tap so that she could walk through with her bag, and she's like, "That was a good move," and I'm like,
I got you,
girl. That was like 16-year-old when I had a bus tray.
I got you.
Yeah. So corner, exactly. Hot behind. I'm not talking about this coffee. So with that said, man, like, how do you, on your day-to-day, try to regulate how you feel about the restaurants when obviously so much is out of your hands? Like, emotionally, how do you take care of yourself?
Yeah, it's a great question. Something that, you know, I try to share more about. But I went through a real tough time with my brother. He got into some legal problems, was facing prison time back when I was just opening up, before we opened up the restaurant. So we were just about opening up the restaurant times. And it was at that time where a close family friend, he knew what I was going through. And he reached out to me. He's like, Shawn, I know you're going through a lot. I can see the weight of the world. Like, you're worried about your brother, but you're also taking care of your grandfather. You're taking care of your mom. You're taking care of like your whole family. You're basically the trustee of your grandfather's estate. Yeah. And everyone's depending on you. I'm here as a friend, but I can't help you. You need to go and see someone professionally that can be objective. And I think you should go see a therapist. And I went to a therapist and I started, you know, just sharing everything like this. I do that. Like, Shawn, you're an enabler. You're the you're the Ray Donovan of the family. They go and fuck things up, and then they go, Shawn, you come and fix it. And you come to be the savior. And because you do that, you sacrifice yourself.
Right.
And she told me something that I'll never forget. And she's like, Shawn, when you're traveling on a plane, what do they tell you in the safety instructions? I'm like, I don't, you know, it's like, if you're traveling with children and you're traveling with elders, what are you supposed to do in an emergency when the oxygen mask comes down? Mm. And you think as a man, well, I need to be chivalrous. And like, I didn't have a wife, I didn't have kids at the time, but the right thing to do as a man and someone that believes in chivalry, that, you know, is a gentleman, it's like, well, take care of the people around you, and then you take care of yourself. And she's like, that's not what the instructions are. The instructions are, you have to put the mask on yourself first, because if you pass out, you're fucking good to nobody else.
Yeah.
And like, restaurant owners, hospitality, we're the worst. We are. Everything that gives us a superpower makes us weak, because we don't take care of we say yes to everyone else. We make sure everyone else gets paid. We make sure vendors get paid. We make sure staff gets paid. Investors get paid. Everyone gets paid before we get paid.
Yeah.
Everyone gets taken care of. Everyone gets their time. You know how guilty restaurant owners feel about working out? Like taking time to go and like take care of their body so that they can actually have a business 10 years from now to provide for the family, to provide for the community.
Yeah.
It's just like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, holy shit. Like, I need to put the oxygen mask on myself. And by doing that, you know, I'm a recovering alcoholic now. I've been, you know, I was a Hall of Fame drinker. I thankfully got into a program of recovery I've been in since 2012. And, one of the most important lessons I learned is like, I can't worry about things that are outside of my control.
Yeah.
I can't worry about tariffs. I can't worry about politics. I can't worry about what's happening in San Diego with locally. I can't worry about nationally. I can't worry about rib price. Like, do I have to pay attention? Yes.
Yeah.
But I have to do what I can do today as a dad, as a husband, as a man, to make sure that I'm the best person that I can be. Because if not, if I don't put the oxygen mask on myself, I'm going to be worthless for everybody else.
Yeah. Dude, that hits hard, man. And it's a really interesting thing because I feel like the industry itself teaches you to put your face on always, right?
Compartmentalize.
It was
we teach our staff. It's not fucking like you're here. Once you come through these doors, whatever happened at home,
showtime.
Fucking showtime.
Showtime.
You're a show pony. And
dude,
it's crazy. It's crazy to think about. It's crazy to talk about because that's just the truth of like, we just compartment. Whatever happened at home, you lost your dog that you've had for 12 years in the family and your kids were crying all night and you went and you took it to the vet and you had to watch them put it down and your wife's crying and you're crying. And the next day you come in and all you can think about is your dog.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I got to worry about the 15 top that's coming in at, 9:30 that's backed up and my, the delivery's late and I can't get this shit. And like, forget about the dog when all you want to do is cry about your dog.
Yeah, dude. But with this industry that's so entrenched in such a lifestyle, like, how do you pause, man? Especially for those owners and people out there that are living in the day-to-day. Like, how can you first, do you have any tricks for how to get over guilt so that you're not feeling like you're taken away? Like, dude, I used to feel guilty, for example, about eating food in my restaurant because we were so tight on money and we were trying to keep labor down and all of the prep that went in, we would literally count out, all right, we think we're going to sell 16 ducks over the next 3 days, make enough prep for 20 and that's it. And then we're not re-prep until Friday. And I would feel guilty ordering, you know what I mean? Like, have you been able to figure out ways to cope with that so that you're not putting yourself last all the time?
So it's really good question because there's this, I don't know what it is and I'm trying to figure it out because I spend so much of my time now on the media side, on podcasting, interviewing restaurateurs that are, they have 15 locations or they have 50 locations or some of them, are running 500 units. And it's like, how the fuck are they doing that? Like, I don't understand. Like, how are you doing that? Yeah. And those are business owners. For some reason, the people that are down where I am, the 1 units, 2 units, 3, like, that's a job. We've created a job for ourselves where we pay ourselves. We're like the intern where we don't even get we get no benefits. We've just created like a prison for ourselves.
I know.
We're getting zero benefits for what we're doing. And like, that's a problem.
Dude, and
the only way to see that problem is to get outside of it. Like, you have to stand outside of the forest. You have to go and look at what have I created?
Right.
Look at the schedule and you're like, why am I on the schedule 7 days a week?
Right.
Why am I clopening? Like, I'm clopening 3 days because my manager I finally get to send my manager on vacation, but I have to clopen.
Right.
Like, what kind of business is that? That's a bad business. Something else is broken. And like, it took me having my first boy, my son, to realize like, I'm the shittiest manager on the schedule. This badge of honor, this owner operator, is a joke.
It is a joke.
Knock it off with the owner operator stuff.
Yeah.
Because I used to wear that badge of like, I'm an owner operator. I can do anything. I do everything. Like, somebody didn't come in, I picked up the broom and I did the sweep. Like, yeah, great. You want a pat on the back? Great. But how about you figure out how to have that not happen? Yeah. Or when it does happen, have a contingency plan that isn't you.
Right. And dude, I often, it's insane everything you're saying because it brings me right back to being in a restaurant. And I often used to not get upset, but feel like it was a cop-out to call it culinary arts because it's way more than art. It is it's a science, it's a process, it's consistency, it is training, it is the most ultimate people management business of all times. It is managing your clients. It is managing your team. It is managing your vendors. I mean, it's constant, But I feel like that little marketing thing that whoever the fuck figured it out was, if you call it culinary arts, then the arts will be the perpetual driver of insanity for people who will never make money for their craft. And it's like,
what if it was culinary finance?
Or culinary,
instead of culinary arts.
Culinary
because
logistics.
You need finance. If
Culinary,
you don't have finance, there is no art. There's no art supplies. There's no logistics. All of it. 100%.
It's insane to me. And dude, so now when you open your other spots, and I think one of the parts that was always a struggle for me was, all right, you want to open a restaurant that feels full, that feels busy, but then you're limited, right? Let's say you open a 60-seater. Now you're like, well, how many staff can I actually afford, right? How many back of house? And then you're like, all right, if I got 10 people on my roster, what if 2 people are out? It's like you're in this constant like paradigm of, is it enough? Is it not enough? It's like this balancing act. And then, so were you able to leverage a lot of the staff that you already have in place in order to get your other locations open? Mm-hmm. Or was it time to promote? Like, did you have to do a little bit of tandem of things? Like, how did you manage it?
So, I mean, we managed it by failing. That's the best answer, is that like we opened up ghost kitchens in the pandemic. And we spent a lot of money. So our goal was to get more barbecue to more people in San Diego. There's 3 million people in San Diego County. We have one location. I spent 15 years studying the art of storytelling, studying the art of media, using modern media, social media, throwing events, partnering with, local sports teams. I did literally anything and everything to give people a reason to come and try brisket in Spring Valley. And when you come to Spring Valley, it is an adventure. We are off the beaten path. You think you're lost. You're like, I can't be in the right place. There's liquor stores, there's tire shops. None of this makes any sense. Shawn, are you sure? Like, yeah, Google Rat. I make sure Google is updated. Yeah. That's where we were located. No bullshit. But like, you get to a capacity.
Right.
I think we did 3.3 million before the pandemic, pre-pandemic, our highest year of like single unit. But like, I had 80 people on staff.
Right.
I was running fight nights. I was running NFL Sundays. I had security. I had overflow parking. It was a full on like Four Seasons hotel. It was nuts.
Yeah.
One location.
Shit.
And I'm like,
did I make any money?
Yeah, exactly. No. The short answer is no. It's like, well, what are we doing? Like, why are we killing ourselves to do this? So we thought like, well, this ghost kitchen opportunity, we can open up a new location, test a different market. And if delivery works out well, now we'll have another distribution point. Well, the ghost kitchen was way too expensive.
Yeah.
Like ultimately the actual real estate, too expensive for 200 square feet or whatever it is, 300 square feet, whatever your ghost kitchen size is. The delivery platforms, obviously, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, they're not giving anyone smoking deals on delivering food. We tried to get people to order through personal, but
like
it didn't work.
Yeah.
What did work was, how do we get a model open? Like, so that led to our QSR location on the Navy base, where it's actually in a food court with, 55,000 men and women that serve our country on base.
Sick. So, love that.
Audience. Those are the only people that can come and eat. But then we're right next to Panda Express, Five Guys, Subway. These are all national brands. And like they wanted local flavor. They wanted fresh food. They wanted something great. So like we're slow smoking meats at the Master Smokehouse, delivering them every single day, fresh barbecue at the location. And like, for us, that's making sense. For us, cooking slow smoked meats, bringing it to 30,000 people that are coming to an MLS Major League Soccer game at Snapdragon Stadium, where they're staffing it. So it's more of a licensing deal and a wholesale food distribution deal. Way better model. We got into the finals. We were in the finals of a restaurant group to open up in the San Diego airport, which would have been just game changing for the brand. But we lost out to a different group. Hopefully when they redo the other terminal, we'll do it. But yeah, that's the restaurant. We are very unconventional in our growth plans. Obviously, as somebody that built a B2B storytelling media company for restaurant technology brands on top of my restaurant.
Okay, so dude, we know how hard restaurants are, and I think all of us are trying to figure out. We grapple
I was
with.
trying to find something harder than restaurants.
Well, exactly. You know why? Because if you're gonna eat shit out of a trough, you might as well make it coated
You
in.
might as well.
Dude. So okay, how did this part of your evolution come about? Because dude, you are charismatic. The love you have just as a person oozes out of you, man, and it's infectious and contagious. And from my side, dude, like I just love being around you, and I love watching your stuff. And at first, you like Matt Wampler. Just when I decided I was going to take my head out of the sand and I wanted to engage with the community again, I just saw you everywhere, bro. And at first, I'm like, I've never seen a chef be this comfortable sharing and vulnerable and stuff. But then I realized, oh, he's not a chef, he's a restaurateur. And then I'm like, wait, he's not a restaurateur. He's an entrepreneur, and he happens to also be an incredible storyteller. But like, how the fuck did this all happen? Because it's so hard for people, I think. And you have done this better than anyone I've seen. Get out of the four walls.
Yeah.
Open yourself up. Be creative. Take some risks. And it's hard to do it when all you know is service. So like,
Yeah.
Tell me, how did this all happen and what clicked?
Let me tell you a story. You familiar with the movie Field of Dreams?
I know Kevin Costner. I know he has golden hair. I know it's in Iowa. I never saw the movie, but I know.
So it's an American baseball classic.
Yes.
Kevin Costner and James Earl Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a line in that movie that I think is the greatest lie that's ever been told to entrepreneurs, business owners, and restaurants. If you build it, they will come.
That's from that.
If you build it, they will come.
It's not from Wayne's World.
No. It's from Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come.
Okay.
They built a baseball field in the cornfields, and people came.
Sick.
This lie has been perpetuated in business culture, in entrepreneurship lore, in restaurant owners' minds, that if we build it, if we fucking go through the fundraising and asking our friends and asking our family and begging and stealing and doing whatever we can to get a restaurant open. God, it's a marathon just to get a restaurant open. Once we turn the open sign, they're going to come.
Man.
No one's coming. No one's coming. And the sooner you realize no one's coming,
you got to do something about it.
That's the answer to the test.
Yeah.
Like, that's the bad news, is that no one's coming. The good news is no one's coming. And you can do everything in your power right here today to change it.
My
you have
God.
You have to have the courage to look stupid, sound stupid, and have a bunch of friends make fun of you for being on the internet and telling people to come to your restaurant.
Okay.
I don't know. It's so crazy, the world we live in.
Yeah, it is.
An entrepreneur, a business owner, in 2025, they can have the courage, the guts to go and ask someone, I'm going to go chase my dream and open up a restaurant. Will you give me $25,000? Will you give me $100,000? Will you give me $200,000? Like, they have the courage to go and do that in front of people. They have the courage to tell their friends at a cocktail party, to tell their friends at PTA dinner, hey, I'm opening up a restaurant. Will you come support me? But when the restaurant's open, all of a sudden, we don't want to get on the internet, on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. I don't care what the platform is. You have to keep telling the story and keep asking people to come and visit you.
Yeah.
Why? Why should we care? Everyone is on the internet. Like, that is the principle. That is why I created Cali BBQ Media, is because I'm a restaurant owner. And I'm like, listen, I've never been able to go to Chicago because I'm too busy running my restaurant. I can't go to the National Restaurant Show in Chicago. God, I wish I had the money. I wish I had the time. I wish I had someone on the schedule that could do that. But I'm on the internet. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I watch YouTube videos. I listen to podcasts. Why is there no restaurant owner content of people that are more successful than I am, sharing the goods, the bad, and how they made their lives better?
Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't exist, I'll just make it.
Sick. And so how long did it take? When was that Eureka moment, by the way? Look, If anybody wants to know how fucking passionate this beautiful man in front of me is, there is spit flying. There is just like,
you get me all fired up, dude.
This is fantastic, dude. I love this.
You get me fired up. X always gets me fired up.
So, dude,
2017, we launched Behind the Smoke. That was our first podcast. And to give you guys reference, I've probably done thousands of podcasts myself, let alone appearing on other podcasts. We have a show on Entrepreneur right now called Restaurant Influencers that we publish every week. We have a show called Restaurant Technology, which is published on Substack, but it's also published as a podcast. We have Digital Hospitality, which we publish 5 episodes a week. I have a YouTube channel where we produce 3 new videos per week on our Cali BBQ Media channel. And we have probably 7 other shows that we do for clients. So my media team, 14 people, we produce those shows for other clients and some of the biggest restaurant technology companies that exist.
Dude, so when did it click that you're like, I'm going to try and monetize this for others? Like in 17, you start up in Behind the Smoke, right?
Yeah.
And then so
it wasn't until our relationship with Toast. So in 2020, I'd been podcasting for 3 years, already creating, restaurant owner content on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. And I told Toast, Will Eppard, who was the senior manager at the time in San Diego, I was like, hey, if we sign this deal with Toast, I'm going to go share our Toast story on the internet. And he's like, a lot of people tell me a lot of things, but nobody really actually does it. Like, you just want a good deal. And I'm like, I don't want a good deal. I want a good relationship.
Yeah.
I want to know that you're going to be supporting me as a restaurant owner and as a storyteller. And they're like, we'll see. And we made an unboxing video. So Eric, my general manager, my business partner now, he's my CFO now, him and we made an unboxing video and we unboxed the hardware and the software. And we were like, hey, we were on Aloha. We wanted to switch because we wanted to get more barbecue to more people. Our online ordering sucked. We wanted KDS. We wanted handhelds. We wanted all these things. This is us making a video, not to sell more barbecue, but to connect with the other restaurant owners that are literally going through the same process. They have salespeople contacting them from all the 130 different
thousand.
Unbelievable. I can't believe there's that many. Nonetheless, they're getting contacted. Maybe they'd rather hear from us than from another salesperson. So we made that video. That video was shared by Chris Comparato, the CEO at the time, on the company Slack channel. Went to thousands of toasters. We were invited on the customer advisory board. So I'm actually leaving tomorrow, Sunday, so 2 days from now, to Boston. So I'm going to go meet with Aman Narang, the co-founder and new CEO, Steve Fredette, all their leadership, give them feedback on the product. I was invited with Eric. We went to their IPO in 2021. So we were there on Wall Street with 20 other restaurants. Cool. These restaurants have been on Toast longer than we had.
Yeah.
These restaurants are way more successful, but we were the storytelling restaurant.
Right.
So they invited us and we made all kinds of really cool content. And then 2022 is when we launched our second show. So that was the Restaurant Influence. We partnered with Entrepreneur Magazine and we pitched Toast that we wanted to do a restaurant show focused on storytelling. Like, we believe in storytelling. It's given us all this opportunity. We want to go interview the Shaquille O'Neals, Rob Dyrdeks, Robert Irvine, Emeril Lagasse, like all the biggest names in our industry, but talk to them not just about restaurants, but how do they view storytelling?
Interesting.
And that's the show that we created. Yeah, first brand show, first brand partnership, and then now, we've worked with companies like Pepsi. We were just at the US Food Show, the Food Fanatic Show, which was phenomenal, recording content there. Amazon, Walmart Business. It's kind of crazy to think the brands that we've been able to work with.
Bro, I love it. It is sick. And honestly, breaking into those first couple clients that are a completely different world and industry, it's a big deal, man. It's a big deal to change the transactional relationship you have with money from I give you ribs, I give you coleslaw, you like it, 20% tip. And that being the interaction to developing a legal contract, understanding how to make it work and all that stuff. So now that you've moved into this and you're seeing success, what compels your crazy brain to continue to open more stores? And I asked you this because obviously it's such a tough thing to do. Yep. And I'm sure you have incredible and trusted people that you put in place to ensure things are going great. But aren't there times where you're just like, man, it'd be so great not to have to worry about the fryer fucking breaking down again. Like, will you open more stores? Are you feeling like that's still just a part of your DNA?
So we will evaluate every opportunity that comes our way. Do you know another restaurant that is also a media company?
I mean, I guess the closest thing I can think of is like
By media company, I mean not just producing their own media, but on behalf of other clients.
You know the answer to that, because I was gonna say, you want my baby, that baby, that baby. I mean, that's the closest thing I can think of, right? Like the marketing side is the closest thing.
People understand B2C. Like they're restaurant owners. They understand that they need to sell more things. They need to have a YouTube page. They need to have a TikTok account. Like the best of the best. I mean, let's call it, maybe 10% of the market. No, 10% is probably generous. 5% of the market that doesn't discredit social media, that are actually building shows, doing podcasts, creating YouTube content, creating short form content. Like they understand it. But a media company that's actually also an agency, that also is a production company, that's not happening.
No, of course not.
To answer your question, we will evaluate any opportunity that comes our way. But there's something special too about being in the position where we're so invested in restaurant technology, where every single day I'm meeting with founders, startup companies that, just got their first funding. Maybe they're in second round of funding. I'm meeting with companies that are publicly traded companies where I'm evaluating their tech, meeting with their sales team, meeting with their growth team, meeting with their marketing teams, product teams. Like there's something magical about having the ability to like call
truly
their
workshop it. Yeah.
Like call their bullshit and be like, is this good enough? Like, do we as a media company believe in it enough? Because it's one thing to have a client and to promote their products and teach them how to do storytelling. It's another thing completely to bring them into our tech stack. Because like once you come into our tech stack, now you get me telling stories, Eric telling stories, Steven telling stories from the front line of like what's actually happening with the technology at Cali BBQ. And then they can see like, oh, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if, we have a restaurant group in Washington, D.C. and they love our product. Like what if we showed that? It's all about storytelling. Restaurant owners buy from restaurant owners. I don't understand why that's so complicated.
It's not complicated. And you know what?
Like my wife, she buys, like we have two small kids. We have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. And guess what? The moms, they talk. And if one mom finds something cool and it makes sense for their son or their daughter, then guess what? My wife was like, hey, I found this thing that's cool. This is where we host parties. This is where they host a party. That is how things get so like word of mouth, obviously. But now it's not just word of mouth. It's word of pocket. So it's an Instagram video. It's a Facebook video. It's a YouTube. It's a podcast. It's some way to communicate whatever the idea is.
So you hit on something very interesting to me, because I feel like the restaurant tech world, it does its best. It is, a nice mix. It's traditionally not necessarily been an industry led by people who've run or operated restaurants. I feel like it's traditionally been something that other industries will try and emulate other industry processes and then come into the restaurant space to take over. But with that said, I've been on the, let's say the low receiving end, or the negative receiving end of new technology implementations. I've had almost all bad ones. And I wonder, what percentage of these restaurant tech platforms that you try actually stick? Like,
that's a great question. I mean, to be honest with you, that's why we built the media. Like, I have such a good bullshit radar.
Yeah.
Like from the initial DM, from the initial outreach, from the initial I saw you at a conference, from the initial I saw how you guys roll at your booth. If you're 10 by 10, like I don't care where you're located, I'll find you.
Yeah.
If you are a show within a show, I want you to tell a story and tell me a story about what you're doing for the rest. Because if it's good enough for me to listen to, then maybe it's good enough that other people should learn about it. Yeah. And we have thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people that now follow our content across all of our channels. Like when you add entrepreneur on it, it's millions.
Yeah.
So like people are listening to what we're talking about. So it's my job to curate through the bullshit. I don't want to pick, some product that like, hey, Shawn, you're an asshole. Like, I'm not going to listen to what you have to say about robots, because that robot company, they came in and they screwed me over and they put me in some long lease and it was terrible. And like, now my restaurant's suffering, but that doesn't do me any good.
Yeah. It's all your fault.
So, I know. I don't want it to be my fault.
So, okay. So then are a lot of these successful or no? And I'm just saying, I don't want you to call anybody out, but like when you try this stuff out, when do you know it's going to stick? Like, what kind of things do restaurant tech founders need to keep in mind when they're trying to get an operation to truly reap benefit from their product? Like,
so there's two things. Number one, it's the humans.
Yes.
So like, that is the power of podcasting. Is like, I cut through the bullshit. Like, you can have a great sales manager, you can have a great marketer, you can have, a great technologist, but like, I need to know who's the leader and who's the visionary.
Yeah.
And if I can't have a conversation with them, and if they can't sell me on what they're building and why they're building it, then I'm certainly not going to take the time to go through anything else. So like, number one, it's the humans. It's the humans at the top. It's the visionary. And number two, are you building a product and then saying, hey, restaurant, this thing's great, I've solved your problem? Or are you instead working with the restaurant to say, I have an idea, I have a thesis.
Yeah.
My thesis is that we've interviewed all these restaurant owners. They keep telling us the same thing, that this is a pain point. Is it a pain point for you, Shawn? Yes. Okay, well, it's a pain point in these nuanced ways. Okay, well, if you fix this, if you build alongside me, I mean, the fact that Toast is bringing me out with SMB, with 30 other SMB owners, operators, different size, different backgrounds, different regions of the country, and they're all going to sit there and take notes of what comes out of my mouth, because we are loud and opinionated on the customer advisory board.
Yeah.
And they're going to sit there and vigorously take notes. And it's not just so that they can have Shawn post on LinkedIn that I'm in Boston.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back. Actually, when I get there on Monday, they're going to tell me all of the work that they did from the last cab 3 months ago.
Wow.
They're actually building the products that we're asking for.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
For a company that big, that
Yeah.
has 5,000 employees, that has hundreds of products.
Yeah.
But like, they understand that if they listen to SMB and they listen to international and they listen to enterprise, now they have all of this rich feedback. And who better than, the loudest people, your loudest customers, than to get the feedback from to build the product that you actually need, that people will actually use.
That investment is incredible. Now, how do you think smaller tech companies? Because obviously Toast is, I want to say at this point, is probably the largest restaurant technology provider in the world.
Probably.
I don't know if you know what I mean, but I've got to.
Yeah, probably.
And it's insane what they've built in 10, 15 years. I mean, obviously they did an incredible job. And I was an Aloha guy for years and years and years. I've used digital dining. I've used Infogenesis. I mean, I've used so many platforms, and all of them get the job done, right? Mm-hmm. I just haven't been directly in operations enough to experience it on the floor lately, but I have obviously seen all the reporting and stuff that they do online. They've built an incredible product. So but they're one in a million.
Yep.
I'm not saying that there isn't going to be other incredible restaurant tech startups that come along and change things and get to that kind of scale. So when you don't have investors, or you don't have IPO, or you don't have incredible infrastructure around you, then what works? You know what I mean? Like,
every restaurant tech company knows this. Like, you wouldn't have you had to get your first customer.
Yeah.
You had to sell your first customer. You had to sell your second customer. Like, you have to continue, but you have to cultivate a community of those customers. And that takes work, and that's not on anyone's roadmap.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to go like, oh, how am I going to connect Shawn to, the seventh restaurant that I like, but like, you need someone to do that, so that Shawn has a connection point, and you need to keep in touch with me so that I feel like I'm building it alongside. I want to be a part of your journey.
Yeah.
Every restaurant, like, we all want to be a part of a success story. I mean, the fact that I was with Toast before they went public, and then I was at Walsh, like, that's crazy.
That's insane.
That's so cool.
That's insane, honestly.
So cool, right?
Yeah, no, it's insane. And kudos to them for understanding just the power of what you guys go through, of empathy. You know what I mean? Because it's I'm not gonna lie to you, I struggle with empathy sometimes because I've been out so long. And it's really refreshing for me to talk to people like you.
That's what the podcast allows you to do. And like,
Yeah.
you know, you are one of, you know, it's funny. Everyone thinks that everyone has a podcast, but people don't, because podcasting is hard.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work. It is a lot of time, and there's a lot of investment. You have multiple people on the call that are helping you execute it. You have to post-produce it. You have to promote it. You've got to book the guests. Like, I mean, 90% of podcasters stop after one episode.
That's
and
insane.
Another 40% don't even make it to 10 episodes. So like the fact that you're willing to do the work as a founder of multiple companies, like you're doing the work to build the connection, because there's going to be more guests that are on the show. And like, how do you connect guests that have been on the show together?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you loop me in to be part of the story? So it's like, now I have a shared experience, because I've never met this restaurant owner, but he was on X's podcast. I was on his podcast. And like, now we're part of a, you know, a WhatsApp group or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Whatever your thing is, it has to be your thing. But then you become part of, like what we say all the time, is a rising tide lifts all ships. You know, you find people that believe in your mission and that want to build along, that want to support you.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be willing. You got to be the crazy person. You know, how do you start a digital flash mob? You have to hear the music that nobody else hears. And you start dancing in the middle of the town square.
Yeah.
And you're dancing and you're like, hey, like digital hospitality. Come on. Everyone gets it. Digital hospitality. Like, people are like, who the fuck is this guy's fucking crazy?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? A media company on top of a barbecue restaurant? What are you talking about? Doesn't make any sense. And then you just need one person. Right. They hear the music, like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. No one came to tell my story. I can tell my own story. And then you have two people dancing. And then all of a sudden that becomes four. But it takes time.
Yeah.
And over time, then all of a sudden, when you show up at a trade show, like, I had people stop me that have been watching my YouTube content. And we don't have many YouTube followers. We have 2,000 people that have subscribed to our Cali BBQ Media YouTube. But we're putting a lot of time and a lot of effort, knowing that YouTube is the #1 TV channel in the world.
Yeah.
Right. #1 TV channel in the world. Yet every business isn't investing in YouTube. Like, they barely even believe in Facebook, let alone Instagram, let alone TikTok, let alone LinkedIn. But like, people are watching this content. People will listen to this podcast. And you don't need to have thousands. You just need the right people.
Right.
Those are the rising tide people, the crazy ones.
I love crazy people.
I know. That's why we get along so well.
Exactly. So speaking of crazy people, dude, and you know, I hope. So what's your first son's, your kiddo's name?
Colleen.
Colleen, cool name.
Colleen the Killer Walchef, as Shaquille O'Neal said in my podcast.
Colleen the Killer.
Colleen the Killer Walchef. I'm like, if Shaquille O'Neal says it, then I'm in. I'm all in.
Dude, I'm in too. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And if we're not all in with Shaquille O'Neal, he might eat us. So
yes.
I'm in. I'm all in with Shaquille.
He's the best human on earth.
He looks like a super cool dude. Although he's always fucking with Charles Barkley, and Charles Barkley was my hero growing up. So anyway,
Chuck deserves to get fucked with a little bit.
He does.
He brings it upon himself.
So dude, now that you've had this incredible experience of working in restaurants from the bottom up, having owned multiple, dude, kudos to you that you tried the ghost thing and you learned from it and then expanded from there. How would you feel if the killer, Colleen the Killer, came to you and said, Dad, I want to open my own restaurant? How does that conversation go?
It's funny because I just took the Walchef Wolf Pack, which was my wife, my son, my daughter. We went to Vegas. I put them to work. So my son, he's 8. My daughter, she's 6. I gave them actual physical. It's the first time I printed a physical business card. I have a digital card, but like, that's me assuming that everyone wants a digital card, and like, people are old school. They want something to hold and when you're quick. So I've made a physical card with all my social media on it. It says connect with me. I'm weirdly available. But I was like, I told my son and my daughter, there's going to be hundreds of restaurant owners that are going to come to Daddy's speech. I need you to welcome them. So I took them out of school. I brought them to Vegas. They were at Mandalay Bay. I had to get permission from US Foods to like have my kids there because all trade shows are 21 and up. I'm like, listen, they're working. They're part of the speech. But like they welcomed every restaurant owner that came in and said, please subscribe to my dad's channel. Please connect with my dad. And they're handing out cards. So like they've been with me at least for the last 4 years that we've been going to Vegas, to Chicago, to Miami, to Los Angeles, Toronto. We've gone to all these places to do trade shows, media, podcasts. And like my son told me, he's like, Dad, I want to do what you do. And I'm like, what do you think Daddy does? He was like, you talk and you make videos and you tell stories about restaurants. And I'm like, you're very intuitive, son. That is exactly what we do. And you 100%, you actually are already doing that. Like they're already on camera, learning how to tell a story, learning how to communicate. The 3 days that they spent, it's funny, like right before we got to school, one of his teachers sent a message of like the homework packet that they were you're not supposed to take your kids out of school. So like, sorry, I took my kids out of school. They learned more in the 3 days that they were in Las Vegas than they will have learned all year long in school. Like to put a child in front of adults and ask them, what is hospitality? I mean, what's the biggest problem that restaurant owners say about the next generation? No one wants to talk to anyone. No one knows how to stop anyone.
Yeah.
And like my son stopped adult men, adult women that were coming to my speech, that were rushing in. They didn't expect them to be there.
Yeah.
But they welcomed them. And he's like, some of them, they ignored us, Dad. And I'm like, well, this is a lesson in hospitality.
Right.
We smile. We have to proactively smile because we have no idea. Even though these are hospitality professionals, we don't know what's going on. Yeah. They could have gotten a text that they're not going to make payroll and they're at a US Foods event. They could have gotten a text that their lease is up or they're getting evicted. Like we have no idea what's going on in these people's lives. And like to give that lesson to my son and to my daughter was something that I'm like always grateful for because I know how much they're learning about sales, about marketing, about communication, about hospitality. And like, is it comfortable? No, it's not comfortable. It's never been comfortable to, travel with the wolf pack, but I love it and I wouldn't do it any other way. And we built a life where, thankfully I can do it.
Dude, it's beautiful. And I love the fact that your kiddo, the killer, sees what you do as storytelling. And it's beautiful, man. Like I feel like one of the things that is so incredible about restaurants is how incredibly bonding it is for like anybody who's involved. When you have wins, you win together. When you lose together. But it definitely fortifies bonds that are lifelong. And man, I'm looking forward to see what the killer has up his sleeve in the next 20 years.
Oh yeah. Well, you think the killer? Wait till you see my daughter. She's on a different game. She's gonna be running the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Listen,
my daughter
do me a favor. If you introduce us next time we're in town all together, I'm gonna slip her my business card because when you guys when the legal and marketing school of USD, the Walchef College of Restaurant Enterprise, when you're looking for a back office, a back office automation suite that that you're looking to purchase, I know she's the one who's going to sign the paper. So
100%.
I need to slip her a Snickers.
She's going to drive the negotiations, so you better watch out.
Well, listen, I need to start winning her over now. We're in a relationship business, my friend.
You better. It's a long game.
Exactly. Well, my bro, I've had such a pleasure talking to you, man, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really I love what you do for restaurants. I love what you do just in general to get people comfortable with sharing their stories. I'm one of your biggest fans, so it's been super fucking amazing just to have you on the show. And
you're a phenomenal interview. Like I said, I've done hundreds of podcasts, but you get the best out of me. So you got a special gift. You got to keep asking more questions. Get more people on.
Listen, man, as long as I see spit flying out, I know things are going well.
You got me fired up.
Hell yeah, dude. And listen, so are you going to be, you got a bunch of shows coming up. Tell people where they can find you, where they can follow you, where you're going to be.
I'm weirdly available on all platforms. It's at Shawn P Walchef, WNPWALCHEF. Instagram's the fastest. I post Instagram stories. I basically vlog all day long on Instagram stories, but LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, we're putting a lot of work into YouTube. So Cali BBQ Media, our YouTube channel, all kinds of free resources on storytelling, technology, restaurants, failures, all the things that we did bad, but lots of really good interviews too. Restaurant Influencers is the podcast on Entrepreneur. You can hear my interview with Shaquille O'Neal, where Dana White, the founder of the UFC, actually walked in mid-interview. So the fact that I can say that, and that's an actual true statement, is testament to storytelling.
Did a little poop come out when that happened?
No, I actually handled it pretty well.
It's got to be a little easier when the person you're interviewing is actually more famous than Dana White. I mean, that's
and it was his conference, so technically his company was paying for us to be there and do the interview. So it was.
So Dana White has paid you?
No, Big Chicken.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
so Dana White was there as a
supporting
keynote speaker for Shaq. Yeah,
understood. Sick, dude. And okay, so before we go, what's a celebratory meal for you? When you and the Wolf Pack go out, what are you guys going to grub on?
Oh, it's easy. It's the greatest restaurant on earth.
Cali BBQ?
Called Ichiban.
Ichiban.
Yeah, it's comfort Japanese food.
Is there a lot of them?
No, there's one.
Oh.
And it's not going to be on anyone's list. There's no Michelin stars. There's no fancy chef. It's literally the restaurant that I grew up in as a little boy with my Japanese grandma, going there every single week, eating chicken teriyaki, having udon noodles. And I've been that was the first restaurant that I took my son to when he was born. First restaurant I took my daughter to. One of my first dates I took my wife on. And we drive 35 minutes at 80 miles an hour across county once a week to go to the restaurant because we love it and it means that much. And like, that's the power of restaurants. It doesn't have to be a famous restaurant that, is on the top 100 list or some, chef driven. It's the restaurants that you grow up in, that you bring your kids to, and they hopefully will bring their kids to one day.
I just melted. Like my whole soul just melted. And just so you know, I think I'm looking at the future owner of Ichiban. Chocolate or coffee or both? Do you like those?
What?
Chocolate or coffee or both? Do you like those?
Coffee.
Easy. Sick.
Coffee. Always.
We're going to, Raquel is going to set you up with some badass coffee.
My first Colombian podcast.
This is your first Colombian podcast. So it's
first and best ever. Not my sixth Colombian podcast, my first Colombian podcast.
It comes with perks, bro. So we're going to get your address and we're going to send, and maybe we'll give you a couple other little treats. You want me to do an unboxing? You want a Walchef Wolfpack unboxing? If you're cool with it, I'd love that.
Yeah, that's all we do. It's a family business.
We're going to have to win over a lot of people with this unboxing. So we're going to have to make it a little more special.
You see how I just upped the ante right there?
Up the ante. I got my future acquirer on the other side of that box opening. Yeah, I got to start winning her over at 3.
My kids like Hello Kitty. My son likes Minecraft. You got to win them over. My wife likes diamonds. I mean, whatever you want to put in that box, baby. You better make it shine.
Sweet. Might have to throw a little DocuSign in there with a B2B engagement too.
All right, I like it.
Awesome, Shawn. Thank you so much, man, for joining the show. And I will catch you soon. Thanks for joining the 86 Reason Podcast. It's been a pleasure to have you, brother.
86 Reason Podcast was brought to you by Over Easy Office, outsourced bookkeeping solution.